You have been conditioned in a way that you think money wrongly, and that's why most people never escape the cycle of being broke.
Rich people play a completely different game, and if you don't change how you think, you are going to be at a huge disadvantage.
After analyzing how the wealthy people think, we have broke it down into 4 simple steps to shift your mindset and start building real wealth.
If you are new here, welcome to the Future Builders podcast by Empowered Liion. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Ballerina. We quit a corporate job to build a lifestyle business that gives us control over our time, income, and freedom.
Now we are sharing how you can do it as well.
Yay! So let's go into the first step, which is to dump the employee mindset, which is time equals to money. We all know that we can always trade our time to get money, right? For example, you are working 9 to 5 in a company, and the company pay you the same amount of the salary every month. So that means you trade your time for the money no matter how well you perform.
Yeah, but the problem is this. If you just count your hours, right, how much you are going to receive, by the end of the day, you work for 8 hours, you receive like $200. These kind of people, they tend to get stuck in the end because the entrepreneurs, they are using what? They are using values as a measure to see how much money they are going to get.
So the key learning point is if you want to earn more money, you start to trade value instead of using the time. Because let's see an example. You are doing sales, and maybe another person is just an accountant in a corporate job, from working from 9 to 5. So for the accountant, maybe she can earn about $3,000 a month by working from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day, 5 days in a week. However, for you who are doing sales, maybe you can just simply hit your target within 4 hours, and you can just go back to enjoy, relax. In a month, you still earn $3,000 by just working 4 hours a day.
Yeah, so the key point here is that the real wealth, right, it actually comes from getting results. So for the salesperson that you're talking about, they get the result within 4 hours, whereby for typical, white collar employees, they sit in the office, they have to work for 8 hours for a day. But the thing is, when they are working during the 8 hours, maybe they spend the first hour like eating breakfast, just check simple emails. Then towards the afternoon, they are just like chit-chatting with their colleagues. So that kind of time, right, it is actually quite wasted.
Yes, a lot of people might think that's good, but I would say you are ruining your future because the time is not just for the employers, but for you yourself. Yeah, don't think that you trade your time for money. So during the working hours, you can just relax, chit chat with friends, colleagues, or just enjoy your breakfast, lunch slowly. Because what you're wasting is actually your own time. You can use that time, utilize it well, utilize it wisely to do other things which are more meaningful and create a bigger impact to your life and to other people's life as well.
The key is to understand that for entrepreneurs, their income growth is not like a linear increase. Most typical employees, right, they actually get like 3 to 5% of the salary increase every single year. That is considered linear growth. But for entrepreneurs or even for a salesperson, they tend to struggle at first. They just don't get sales. Maybe they don't earn enough salary to even cover expenses. So this is why they are struggling, but they will hit an inflection point, right, whereby the income will just grow exponentially. So this is the key difference between the mindset of an employee who value time equals money, 1 hour equals to how much, versus for entrepreneurs or salesperson, those successful people, they are value in the results.
And I think it's something related to the risk tolerance as well, because let's say you can't even bear the risk of losing your money at first or not earning enough at first. You might not be able to receive the lucrative reward afterwards. For example, you don't even want to, work like an entrepreneur starting your business right now, and then you suffer for a while, but your future may be great. But you just rather to be an employee in a corporate world, and then you're just earning $3,000 for your whole lifetime.
Yeah, I would say no pain, no gain.
Of course. So moving on to a second step, which is to take back control of your time, because since we say your time is valuable, you should treat your value to money instead of using your time. So how can you actually take the full control of your own time?
The thing is this, if you don't control your time, right, someone else will control it for you. So in a corporate world, your time is belong to your managers. So your manager, your boss will ask you to do this and that, and you are obliged to do so because they pay your salary.
I actually can relate to how helpless it is when you do not have a full control over your time. Because during my internship period last time, I was working in a hospital, and then it was morning. I was working for my afternoon shift from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. Suddenly, my employer came to talk to me. She says that she needs to change my schedule.
Mhm.
So on a Tuesday and Wednesday, I supposed to have two morning shifts, and then Thursday and Friday, I will have my off days for that 2 days. So she told me that she need me to go for my off day on Tuesday and Wednesday and come back to work on Thursday and Friday. However, actually, I did have my plan on Thursday and Friday. I want to hang out with my friends. I want to do my stuff on my own, and everything is planned nicely already. However, just because of she asked me to rest on the next 2 days immediately instead, I suddenly have no plan on what to do on my rest day because my friend might not be available on that day, and something that I wanted to do might not be carried out smoothly because I need some time on it. So I feel like it is quite unfair, but it is actually fair at the same time because they are not saying that they are not going to give you your off days and ask you to work for 4 days straight, but they're actually giving back my off days.
Yeah, so it is like they just inform you last minute you should change your off days, and then your plan, it is all gone.
Yes, that's why you should always have the full control over your time. If not, someone else will just take on the role and then manage your time for you.
Yeah, so for all of you listening, I want to tell you a truth. Companies, right, they will treat employees as just a number. Like, you are a replaceable in the company. If you don't work today, someone else will replace your work. So you are just one number that fits into the organization.
Yes.
So the truth is, you need to really prioritize yourself over your company.
Yes, what Daniel said just now is totally a truth because in a company, you are always replaceable. Let's say you are not working in a company one day, they won't save the position just for you. They will always find somebody else to replace a position. And you thought the company can't even operate without you, you are thinking too much. The company will always grow and grow until it can't anymore. So you should always prioritize yourself. Let me share another quick example with you. In the hospital, right, the nurses they always cut their break time shorter,
Mhm.
or they don't even go for their break time because The patients are so dependent. They are always waiting for you. There are a lot of work are not completed yet. So my colleagues, they all were just not eating on time, not going to toilet, not drinking water at all during the shift. It's 8 hour shift. But I think this is not right because let's say some day later something happened on your health. You might be having gastric acid or sometimes your body just can't function well. You have some illness develop in your body. So who will ever face these consequences? Is that your boss? Is that your company? No, it's you yourself need to suffer alone. For example, you have your, you know, gastric pain or whatever, your employer just asks you to rest at home or you don't even need to come anymore because I think your physical health or mental health can't fit this position and then you will lose a job. So take care of yourself first before you are taking care of other people.
So for all of you listening here, we would like you to really sit down and think for a while. Is your company treating you well, or is your company like Bell's company, whereby they can just replace your off day immediately, on the last minute notice? So just think about it. Do you really want to stay in a company like this?
Yes. So if you are in doubt right now, not sure what you should do, you can head over to our Stay or Slay quiz at www.empoweredlion.com/double S. It's a completely free quiz and it's just 7 minutes. You can then assess you should just stay in your company and continue to do your best to contribute to the organization, or you should seek a new opportunity instead.
On the other hand, for entrepreneurs, they always prioritize on their time first. They value their time first. So that's why they can build businesses that can work for them. They are not working for the business is working for them.
Yes, but you might see those workaholics, they will spend a very long time in their business. I remember my brother, he's working from early in morning until maybe 2 or 3 a.m. I asked him, why do you work so hard since you're a boss already? But he told me that this is actually his time because he's working on his future. He's trying to earn more for his family. So I think makes sense because let's say in the corporate job, no matter how hard you work, you only earn that much. And you are building on someone else's business. You're not working on your own. So for my brother, he's a boss and he's actually using his time to build on his own business. So I think this is actually a valid reason, right?
Yeah, just to be very clear, at first glance, it seems like there's a clash with what we have mentioned just now. We said that we need to take care of our health and so on. But for those bosses who work for like 60 to 70 hours per week, they are building their futures.
Yes. So moving on to the next one, just now we talked about my brother. He actually worked for a very long hours in a day in his company, right? So because entrepreneurs, we are always focusing on building the long run instead of just short-term result. We really, really want our business to be sustained in terms of the time. We want it to be operate as long as it can. We want to just sustain it. We don't want to close down immediately after we got a profit, right?
Yeah, this is a form of good leadership. But for bad leadership, sometimes they tend to, you know, grow as fast as they can, but they forget that the fundamentals are being broken.
Yeah.
I would like to share one story that I had when I was studying in the US. So in the US, what is the most, the biggest e-commerce company?
Amazon, of course.
Yeah, it is Amazon, right? So what happened was I wanted to buy something on Amazon. So I went to the app and then I placed an order at 9 p.m.
Wow, that's late.
Yeah, that is very late. And then the delivery date, right, it gives me to choose a few delivery times and dates. And I was so shocked that I saw the earliest delivery time, right, is 4 a.m. the next day.
What? So let's say you place the order at 9 o'clock
Mm.
and it will deliver at 4 a.m. That means 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 hours.
Yes, within 7 hours. And you know the US is so big, right? And they can just take the item from the seller, ship to my place within 7 hours. It is like across different states and so on.
Because you're in the Austin.
Yeah, I was in Austin, and then the goods, I think it was from California.
Wow, that's far.
Yeah, and no, within 7 hours, the item has to reach my place. That is crazy. But for me, right, I feel so guilty that I would receive so fast because I am guilty that those workers, right, they don't have enough sleep and so on. So that's why I chose the second earliest one, which is around like 6 to 7 a.m.
Just 3 or 4 hours more.
Yeah. So that is the kind of efficiency that Amazon has. This is really good. But what happened was a few weeks after, I
Mm,
actually saw a news
mm.
that Amazon had its biggest strike ever. Meaning to say, there are more than 10,000 workers, right? The delivery people, they just don't work altogether.
Wow, just because maybe they didn't get enough rest or enough benefit from the
Yeah,
company.
so they are overworked and then they are underpaid. So these are two main reasons why they started a strike. They don't want to work. They want to show the company, show to the world that how the company unfairly treat them.
Wow, so the employers are actually using the manpower to the maximum.
Yeah.
They pay every one of them maybe 2 or 3 thousand every month, but then they want them to create the result of $5,000 to $6,000. Wow.
Yeah, so this is the lesson learned. If you overstretch on yourself or your team, right, sometimes it will just snap back like the rubber band, and then you will hurt yourself.
And I think one policy in Singapore regulated by the Ministry of Manpower is really good because having helper in Singapore isn't something big. Whoever can afford it will definitely have a helper at home to either take care of their household chores or taking care of the elderly and even small kids. So in hospital, we actually require the people who are very, very elderly already to have one helper before he or she can be discharged from the hospital. It's a must to have it. So to hire a helper, right, you can only make the helper work in the address registered. So let's say you are going to overseas for a 1 month long holiday, you can either leave your helper at home or send her back to her home country for
Oh.
a 1 month holiday as well. However, you cannot just let the helper go to your relative's house to help over there because they think this is not right since your helper's her job roles should be only within this area. So
This family itself.
yes,
Mm.
so you cannot make the helper to do what is not inside her job scope.
Yeah, so if you put this into like in a company sense, the best entrepreneurs always treat their employee
Mm.
well first, like how the Ministry of Manpower protects the helper.
Yes. So for Empower Liion also, although we are not having any, employees right now, but we are trying to treat them better than other people can once we have one.
Because we treat ourselves well.
Because actually, employees are a certain type of wealth as well. Let's say if you have a very good employee in your company, and you definitely have to treat her or he well because you don't want to lose your good employee and let the person just work for other company, right? You just want the employee to be staying inside your company, contribute to your work, to your projects. So I think this is about give and take. when you receive some values from your employee, you must always give back as well.
The best asset in a company is actually the talents, the people in your company. And the best teams, right, happy teams, right, it will create long-lasting success.
Of course, like how I learned from the book The Buddha and the Badass by Vishen Lakhiani, he also said he wanted to build the happiest company in the world ever. And then he was treating his employees really, really good that I can see. So he's actually a very good role model for all of us.
The fourth step of stop thinking like a poor and start to get rich is to design a business that fits you.
But how?
Okay, so you know that many business owners, right, they started out a business, but they end up working for 12, 14 hours per day endlessly. No, the original goal of those business owners, they think that no, a business can give me freedom because once I've got a business, then I can just stay aside and then my employees can work for me, whatever.
Just do whatever they want.
Yeah, but the reality is not the case. Many business owners, they just continuously working on their own. This is not a very wise choice because if you just keep working for 12, 14 hours a day, you are just like an employee, or even you are having more suffering than an employee because you are working way more hours than them. So the crucial thing is to design a business that gives you freedom instead.
And most importantly, know what you value for. Because some people, they might not value freedom so much. They might value other things more. Everybody is different. So before you start a business, what you have to know is that it's the first thing always is not what you want to contribute to the community. It's always what's your value, what you value for in your life. So from there, you can slowly start how you are going to build your business, how are you going to sustain it. So you must always know your destination and how are you going to get there. If not, I think you'll be very lost on the journey of the entrepreneurship.
For example, for Empowered Liion, we don't want to work like 14, 16 hours a day. So we give ourselves like very enough sleep throughout the day.
Because I value the sleep a lot.
Yeah, so we create what we call the lifestyle business. It means that I can work whenever I want, and then at which place I want, with who I want, for as long as I want. So this is what we wanted to do. So for us, right, we value these things, we value our lifestyles. So it may take a little impact on the company growth, but the most important thing is we are happy doing this. So when we are happy doing what we do, we can sustain much longer.
So the goal here isn't to build just a business, but you must build one that can fit well into your life.
Definitely. Now that you know how to break free from a poor mindset, the next step is to create a business that actually gives you freedom, not just another job in disguise.
So we'll break down the biggest myths about lifestyle entrepreneurship and how you can actually get started in our next episode. Stay tuned. Bye.